So very good morning, one and all. Welcome, Dr. Medha, for this online interview session on awareness on plastic recycling and ban on single-use plastic. Uh, I would like to hand over this session to Samiksha. Samiksha, you can continue with this.
Namaskar and good morning, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. I am Samiksha Moe, and this event is organized by PSMCOE's Department of Electronics and Telecommunication in collaboration with IEEE PSMCOE student branch. IEEE is based on advancing technology for humanity, and today's topic aligns with IEEE's mission and vision. We have an eminent speaker with us who will shed some light on the topic of awareness on plastic recycling and ban on single use of plastic. I am very honored to introduce the speaker of the event, Dr. Medha Tadpatrikar ma'am. She is a serial entrepreneur and is the director of Rudra Environmental Solutions Limited. She is a marketing expert, having 16 years of experience in marketing, research, and training with renowned Indian and European companies. She is a trustee of Keshav Sita Memorial Foundation Trust, which is established to create awareness of waste plastic and segregation at source for better waste management. She is actively involved in charitable work and her interest lies especially in women's issues. Considering the today's topics for the sessions, we'll be looking into the banning of single use of plastic, the recycling of plastic, and how can we avoid it, and some advice for the youth regarding this major issue, which is not usually talked upon every single day. So, without further ado, let's welcome the TEDx speaker, writer, and entrepreneur, Dr. Medha Tadpatrikar. This interview will be led by Aditi Shimbade and Anurag Zadha. Over to you, Aditi.
Hi.
And
Thank
yes.
you.
A very good morning, ma'am. So to start off with, now that we humans are using single-use plastic on a day-to-day basis, and it has very much become a part of our life, I would like to divide the very first question into two parts. Firstly, what major steps can we take to reduce the dependence, and also what are the alternatives that we can use?
Okay. So basically, good morning first, and thanks for inviting me today. Uh, your question is about how we can reduce, yeah, or how we can have reduce the dependency. First of
Yes.
all, let us not forget that plastic is a brilliant product. We are just beating the product and not the our habits. So whatever anybody says, it's not, plastic is not a problem is the overuse of it and how much we are using it. That is the problem. See, because when we develop something, we don't think about what is going to happen when it becomes a waste, and everything what we use becomes a waste. So right now we are all talking about electric cars, this and that, but has anybody thought what's going to happen after 10 years when you have a lot of batteries? Or we are using a lot of solar power, but what happens to solar panels after 30 years, 20 years? So all of us need to start thinking about it from and for us, the boat has sailed for a plastic. So rather than we saying dependency, we just have to use 3 hours, for reduce, refuse, and recycle. And also, there are now a lot of hours are included into that. So I think, when we buy something, we go and shop something, we have to be aware about how much waste we are creating. At the same time, if we do create, because it is inevitable to not use plastic. See, plastic is in everywhere in our cars. 27% is in our cars. Because of that, weight of cars have reduced, and we are using less fossil fuel. So sometimes we are not looking at the best of it. We are just like bashing the product, rather than looking in ourselves. So I think we need to, when we do it, we need to think about it, and it's a collective. It's not only you in isolation. It's all about us citizens, governments, NGOs, all of us, and businesses. Everybody has to think. And let me tell you that people are doing so many things. Innovations are happening. People, companies are using recycled plastic in their product, like in a food, drinks, everything. So I think we are heading into the right way. And I I think it's in our own hands to reduce our dependency. So thank you. What was your second question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the answer. It was very informative. Moving on to the next question. As
Yeah.
we all are aware about Indian government's announcement on a complete ban on single use of plastic, but according to some experts, ma'am, that won't be enough. So, what are your thoughts regarding this?
What has happened is we are doing so many things together at the very end. This should have been done, and actually the government has started tackling in 2007 onwards. But just people like you say, why do you think there is so much of a problem of waste? Is because people like you and me are using it and throwing it. So in a way it is, 30 years ago there was no straws. We used to use our hands and lips. Why not go back to it? Do we really need the straws? See, straw came because of our fear of being, having things clean, safe, and things like that. And look at it, plastic has been like that. It has saved so many lives during the pandemic. So and it is mind boggling when you think about single use plastic, because lot of things are single use which are not classed as a single use. Now take an example of a syringe. Yeah. uh, Once it's given, somebody uses an injection, you throw it away. Now is that a single use? It is a single use. But we can't, like a blanket it. So what the government is doing is things like plates, cutlery, which is really no use. We are just become lazy. We don't want to wash the cutlery. We don't want to wash the dishes. So and see, the plastic, because of plastic, lot of us have jobs. Yeah, plastic brought a retail revolution. There was not that many kind of biscuits, crisp, kind of a thing few years ago. But because of it has brought so many advances in packaging, so many people got a job. So we can't overlook that. But yes, it's a first step. And see, we will know once it's it hits the ban in by June. Lot of things hopefully will change. And I know, if you look at practically, it won't change that many things. But again, citizens have to take the bigger role into this and say, hey, I'm not going to use it. There is always going to be the supply if there is a demand. So it's in our hand. So we can't just say to the government, yeah, ban it and we'll still use it. We can't do that.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the answer. Moving to the next question. In what ways can we recycle plastic?
Ooh, there are different ways. There are mechanical recycling, there is chemical recycling, there are other ways. So mechanical is simply where you make granules, and from that granules you make a new products. Then there are things like where you are using it into the making into fiber, cloth, clothing, that they do with a PET, other products. My company is involved in chemical recycling, where we convert waste plastic into fuel. There are various other things are happening with the so there are so many recycling methods. But if you look at traditionally, it has always been the mechanical, and now other players are coming in with the innovations as well.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, the next question is, can we completely replace plastics? As in, plastic is, uh, humans are using plastic in our everyday life, and we are so much, connected to it. So, can we completely replace plastics? And if
No,
not, why so?
no, no. We
Yes,
will
ma'am.
not be. See, we will not. Now, you were just holding that speaker.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
got something here? We all are using mobiles or laptops. What's that? That's plastic.
Plastic. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So plastic is so versatile. Without we thinking, oh, let's stop it. Where is the product that will replace it? Do you think the metal is the answer? No. See, we always found a ways, and that's how the humanity has evolved. We used to have a lot of paper. We used to lot of paper. Paper is where you require energy and lot of water. To replace that, plastic came. Unfortunately, a lot of people going back and saying, oh, let's use paper, let's use paper. It's not. So when you speak to the people who are working on something, I think we are 60 to 70 years away from finding something as brilliant as plastic, as versatile as plastic. Now look, all even the medical devices are used plastic. It has increased the, it has reduced the recovery of patients. When people used to have like a knee replacement 30 years ago, it was like a 6 months, you're down, you can't move this, you can't do that. Now with it, second day, a person starts walking. And to have something like that, it's going to have a something, again, something brilliant, something. So as of now, it's going to be a few long years. I hope you can see that in your life, that there is something brilliant as plastic. But no, we can't stop it.
Yes, so true, ma'am. So, moving further, according to the experts, only 9% of the plastic produced is recycled, which is nothing compared to the 6.3 billion tons produced. So, moreover, most of it is downcycling. So, can you elaborate about recycling process and what is exactly meant by downcycling?
Okay. So when if you look at it, it is like a 8 billion metric tons was used in last 6 decades. Out of that, 9% recycled, 12% is incinerated, and almost 72% is lying in our oceans or a landfill. Uh, it is simply because even though it is so easy to segregate plastic, we getting the raw material becomes difficult. Now there are companies, now if you go in a railway, you won't see any plastic bottles lying around. Why? Because there is a good monetary value, there is a good monetary system. And if you look at India, India is brilliant compared to the world when it comes to the recycling. We have recycling rate of more than 28%, and out of that, 85 to 90% of PET bottles are recycled. So unless and until we create where it is, we give a monetary value to the thin MLP kind of a thing, or thin plastic, it will become difficult to segregate or somebody going and picking up. Now a wrapper weighs less than a half a gram. Now, do you think it somebody should go and pick that up to make it a 1 kilo to get 2 rupees? Will somebody do that? No. So it has to, all of us have to segregate at source. It has to be collected as a segregated waste and then given to the respective recyclers where it can be recycled. Now, the good thing you ask is what is downcycling and what is recycling. Now, downcycling simply means that plastic is recycled into the grade which is lower than what it was. So from plastic, you will still make granules, you will still extrude and make granules. Out of that, they can make fibers, or they will make something for the carpets. But from carpets, you cannot make again the plastic, yeah, the original product. While in recycling, you keep the same quality of it, and you make say from you make from granules, you make buckets. But from buckets, you can again make the granules. So that is simply called as a recycling. In recycling, you have to have a typical uh, quality of the waste, and that affects. But people are doing upcycling as well. Upcycling means whatever the plastic is converted into something different product, which has got a more value to it. So take an example of bags. Plastic, the we use the bags, plastic bags. thin plastic bag. There are people who make rugs out of it. There are purses out of it. So plastic bag will not cost much, but the women get the employment through it, and they can charge 100 rupees, 200 rupees for the bag, for the rugs, things like that. That is called as a upcycling. Even making a t-shirt is called as a upcycling, because you are getting more money out of that fiber. So I hope you're clear about different ways. And what we do in waste plastic to fuel is a recovery, because we are not actually into recycling, we are actually recovering. We in our thing, we can actually convert back into naphtha. From naphtha, we can actually go back to being the plastics, but it takes a different kind of processes as well.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah,
So, as we know that technology and human development goes hand in hand.
yeah.
So how has technological advancement helped us in minimalizing the use of plastic? Also, the second part of the question is there any recent innovation that you can share with us, which is helping
Okay.
this cause?
Yeah. See, like you said, are is innovation helping reduce? Innovation will not help reduce. It's us help reduce. See, innovations are there to take care of our waste. So innovation is not going to come and tell you, hey, don't use the plastic. Is it? No. It's our awareness that is going to do that. So just putting it everything on the innovation, because I always believe that innovation without human interaction or human involvement will not work, or only innovation will help us in waste management, is a fallacy. It will not happen. So but yeah, there are a lot of things happening. Innovation wise, people are doing like waste plastic to fuel is coming up in a big way. We are actually sending one of our machines to Europe in next month or so. People are looking how we can again go back to the naphtha. People are using it. Big companies are using it in their t-shirts. They're using it in their, people are making the shoes out of it. There are innovations where, the MLPs, multi-layered, what we get for crisp. Now the companies are working on an innovation where instead of a multi-layered, so different kind of plastic, it becomes a mono-layer. So it becomes easier for the recycling. And companies are using a big, just now I think a drink company, soft drink company, have started using recycled plastic in their bottles. So things are happening, how to recycle, how to go back to the roots. There is a company I know in Europe who are looking at how to separate that MLP. See, because it's very thin, the layers are very thin, so it doesn't become viable for the recycling. So they are working on, can we do that. People are saying that biodegradable plastic. Now biodegradable plastic is something which works with a like specific environment, temperatures and everything. Otherwise it's just as bad as the regular plastic. People say, can we use the biodegradable in a food? Unfortunately it can't, because when you think about food, what plastic does is actually safeguards that the food inside. So the environment or the nature or temperature differences doesn't affect the inside food. Now there was a study a couple of years ago where they did about this, because there is a big thing about biodegradable plastic made from potatoes, this and that. And they found a big noodle company that if they use a biodegradable plastic, their shelf life is only 6 to 7 days. Then it affects their noodles. While if they use plastic, the shelf life is nine months. Now India is a country where you have in south very hot, north very cold. You have to do logistics. So think about not only as a material, but how much goes into it. So it is there in Himachal Pradesh or Nagaland to the Keralas and Tamil Nadu or Maharashtra. So we all have to think like that, and not just say, yeah, we really have to work on it. And there are a lot of innovations happening in a small way. Lot of time it happens in a laboratory. It may not work in a real world, but things are happening, and big companies are coming in and putting lot of money in, and lot of innovation they're doing.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Also, ma'am, the fact that you connected technology and innovation to us humans in using it, because in the end, if us humans
yeah,
don't actually end up using the technology in a proper way,
yeah,
it's not of much use. So yeah, ma'am,
yeah,
that was
yeah,
the viewers would definitely
yeah,
get as an idea as to how the things are going on. So yeah,
yeah,
Aditi, yes.
Yes. So when we ban plastic, we obviously compel people to find a replacement for it. For example, as a replacement of plastic straws, paper or wooden straws can be used. But they are found to be costly. So as you said previously, that there is when there is demand, there will be supply. So what can be
yeah.
done to avoid this?
Basically, see, why this cost? Because it costs simply, there is lot of human involvement into it. When there are plates, people are using of bamboo or other things, and they cost money. Now, if you're going and that plate costs 3 rupees, while in 3 rupees, if you are getting 10 plastic, you know, it's human nature that we are going to go simply for the something cheaper. So unless and until we say yes, we can do that, or we can think about something like there is a school in Pune. All the people, old parents, like ex-parents, they actually bought a few utensils like dishes, bowls, glasses, and they said if anybody has a birthday in a school, this is given to them free of charge. They just wash it and bring it back. So we also have to make some effort. So we can't just say, oh yeah, it's expensive and so I won't use it. Why do you actually need to use this kind of a thing? You can use steel or whatever, glass, or whatever we have in the house. It's just that we say, who is going to clean up those 50 dishes? That's where the thing stops. We want something easy, we want something today, we want something now, we want that has to be the cheapest of cheap, and then I don't want to do anything. It's not going to happen. We have to say, okay, I am ready to make some effort for the environment or environmental good. And then people have this thought, एक से क्या होगा? Even if I don't do it, it doesn't, we have to change that communication and say, एक से भी बहुत होगा. We can start from us and then say, okay, I see we started collection. We had no idea that we'll start collection. Somebody said, yeah, it's good you're creating awareness, but we don't see that effect. Somebody collecting our waste mixes it together. So what's the use of me doing it at home? And I started with one single bag, one single person, and we now have connected with more than 45,000 households in Pune. So it took us 7 8 years. I'm not saying it has happened overnight. We had to work hard, people had to work hard. But if you just say, hey, I'm not doing it, now people are calling us to say, how can I join? We just need to give them example. So tomorrow you decide that let's start something in a college. We'll come and collect it from a college. But somebody needs to take an initiative saying that, yeah, I want to do it, rather than why should I do it,
Yes, and also, ma'am, when we talk about single-use plastic, the vegetable vendors or the sellers are the like majority of the people who use this in their daily life. So, like, how can we ask them to find a replacement or reduce it? Because for them that is cheapest, and how can they agree on avoiding the use of it?
Yeah, why should they, have you ever thought why they keep the bags?
So
It's
that we
because when
can,
you go
yeah,
and
we need
say,
a
yeah, can I
comment.
have a bag? And if he doesn't have a bag, you go somewhere else. He doesn't want to lose his daily livelihood, so he keeps the bag. The moment you start taking your own cloth bag and say, sorry, I don't want any plastic, He's not going to keep it, is he? So we
Yes.
see, that's what I mean. We want somebody else to do something. We are not saying that I will take a bag. We are saying, why should he keep a plastic bag with him? Why is
Yes.
he keeping? Because people are asking that if I don't, if you don't give me a bag, I'm not going to, do this transaction of buying the vegetables from you. And now, lot of places they charge you money. The moment they started charging the money for the plastic bags, everybody of us started taking the cloth bag. Only thing is cloth bags have to be more cool, you know. And I think the youngsters will start using it. Right now, it's like, ooh, it's a bit down market, Only mummies and aunties and uncles use it, so it's not. So we should all use it, and not
Yes.
say, the moment you start telling him I don't want it, do you think he will spend money to buy the bags and also have the fear of getting the fine? No.
Yes. Yes. Very true.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So after hearing your point of view, ma'am, I remember this famous quote of Mahatma Gandhi ki be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
So in the end, if you want to see the changes, you must start with yourself, and instead of waiting for
Yes.
someone else to push
Yes.
you, kini, you should do this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yes, ma'am. So moving on to our last question, ma'am. So
Yeah.
since most of our viewers would be youth and would be young from the younger generation, so as we all know that today's youth can be a good source to bring about some major changes. So can you suggest to the youth some easy ways that can be followed on day-to-day basis to reduce the use of plastic?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
See, yeah, basically you guys are, big influencers in the house as well. So you can say to your parents, don't use plastic bag, take cloth bags. You start doing it. When you can reduce the waste actually by buying in a bulk. So instead of you buying a smaller packs, if you buy one single 1 liter or 1 kilo bag, it means that you are using less packaging. So if you can do that, I know sometimes it's difficult during this time to spend more money, but if you can think about making that, sort of a way where you can say the budgeting wise, how I can help it. You guys eat so much of a crisp this and that. Stop buying that. Or if you're buying, make sure that you put it in a bag, take home, and then make sure that it goes to the recycling. Basically, again, I'm saying that the everything should start from us as a youth. See, and the one thing you use, how is the easy way to do it? Again, we want something very easy way to do it. Easy way is changing our habits, making sure we just don't throw anywhere. Do you know the largest things in our oceans or on beaches? The cigarette butts is the main thing. In that there is plastic, and the caps, plastic bottle caps. So if you are you use the water bottles, take a bottle from the home. There is no, it's not, it's actually cool nowadays to take your uh, something cool, lifelong, sippy cup kind of a thing instead of a bottle. So we can reduce that. Stop using, don't drink too much, get it from the cup or something, so stop drinking too much of soft drinks, this from the bottles. See, if there is no demand, companies will also start thinking of how I can repackage it. So we need to change our habits, and sometimes it's not easy. But again, like you said, change starts from us. So we need to change.
Definitely,
Yes.
ma'am. Definitely.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, so I would like to hand over the session to Sarja now for the official vote of thanks. Sarja, you
Yeah.
can continue. Also, ma'am,
Yeah.
the session was very informative and
Oh,
Yes,
we
thank you
ma'am.
very
really
much.
got to
Thank
learn.
you.
Thank
Thanks.
you, ma'am. Sarja, you can continue.
Yes, thank you, Anurag. So, good morning, ma'am. My name is Saroja Rambole, and I would like to extend a formal vote of thanks over here. So, on behalf of ENTC Department of PS Modern Colleges Engineering and IEEE PS MCOE Student Branch, I would like to thank you, ma'am, Dr. Medha Tadpatrikar, ma'am, for taking out your time from your busy schedule and taking this session forward. It was really good to have this discussion with you, ma'am, as we know that it is very important to address such situation in today's world. So, a special thanks to Dr. Mrs. Kalyani Joshi, ma'am, Principal of PS Modern College of Engineering, and Dr. Mrs. Rupali Kamthe, ma'am, HOD of ENTC Department, for providing their support to make this interview successful. I extend my gratitude to Mrs. Mugdha Kango, ma'am, for coordinating this session well. So, thank you so much, ma'am. And lastly, I would like to thank all the volunteers for organizing such an insightful interview. Thank you so much, everyone. And the interview was indeed very good and very informative. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
Thanks.
before we
Thank you,
go,
ma'am.
can we have a picture?
Yeah, sure, sure,
Yes.
sure. Yeah.
I,
Do
I,
share that with me as well, yeah?
yes,
yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes.
Mm.
Thank you, Dr. Medha.
Thanks, Mugdha. Thank you.
Yes, it
Okay.
would be very helpful for the remaining students also. We'll
Yeah,
share
sure, sure,
about
sure.
the
Yeah,
students.
yeah, yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
1 second, ma'am. We'll take a picture.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
Anurag, yeah. So,
Everyone smile.
Hi.
1 second. Medha ma'am's video. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's visible.
It's on. It's on.
Yes, we are
Thank
done.
you.
Thank you so much,
Thank,
ma'am.
thank, thank, thank you. Bye,
Yes,
bye.
thank you.
Ma'am, how was it?